How to quickly get back on the grind when you're in a rut. So, my ruts used to be over a month long, sometimes even multiple months. Now, me being in a rut is probably better than you not being in a rut. There's a bunch of geese, I can hear them flying. They're coming from over there. I don't know if you can see them, but when I'm in a rut now, I still don't scroll social media. Fuck, they're loud. Can you see them? It's kind of awesome. Yeah, I don't scroll social media. I don't scroll short form content. I don't scroll fucking YouTube. I don't even watch YouTube. I don't watch TV shows. I don't watch movies. I don't watch any of this stuff. I don't watch anything, right? So me being in a rut is technically better than you not being in a rut. So in this video, I'll show you how you can achieve that. The two factors that I've found to like being in a rut and escaping it, and how to kind of make you being in a rut feel like, not feel like, but when you are in a rut, it is better than what the position of you now not being in a rut. I think you know what I mean, right? So what is a rut? I think you know what it is. It's like you're feeling more down than usual. You don't really want to do the work. You're procrastinating a lot more than usual. You're tired and you're feeling sluggish, etc. You know the feeling. You're procrastinating on. You know the feeling, right? So breaking out of a rut comes down to these two things, these two factors that I've found. There's probably like 1,000 more factors, but these are just like the most important factors. And once I tell you, you'll probably think, oh yeah, Jonas, I get it. But I'll explain to you like how you can leverage this and actually use it. So the first thing is winning the morning. So how do you win the morning? I'll get to that. And the second thing is low contrast between fun and work. I'll explain. So what contributes to you being in a rut? It's you like, yeah, it's all about fucking winning the morning, right? So if you can make a good morning, 90% of the time, the rest of the day will also be like kind of good. So how do you win the morning? Okay, fuck. How do I explain to you that winning the morning? It's like when you win the morning, when you are productive in the morning, you do your 92 hours, 3 hours, however long you do of deep work in the morning, you hit your workout, etc., you feel good. Now you kind of want to continue that momentum. It feels good. You're kind of getting the like positive feedback loop. You see the results from your work, etc. It's much easier to then like continue that, and then you go to sleep early, and then you wake up and you continue the cycle or whatever you want to call it. So how do you actually win the morning? It's so vague. How do you win the morning? You win the morning by winning the evening, like the evening before that. If you go to bed early, you've kind of, okay, this is gonna go into like some health stuff and etc. I think you're okay with that. You eat at the proper time. You eat a couple hours before going to bed, so your sleep is good. You sleep well. You are in bed for like the 10 hours, so you get like proper sleep. You wake up. You've already planned tomorrow, today, so you have a plan for what you need to do. You've visualized it, everything like that. That's how you win the morning from like the evening. So you need to win the evening. So how do you win the evening? You do that by doing those things, but most importantly, you don't scroll and you get like good restitution. So this video at first was supposed to be a video about how I made my ruts go from 30 plus days down to only 1 day. And this is like, so it's basically when you want to break out of a rut, you need to fucking reduce your screen time. And that's like all I'm about basically. So, and this just again comes back to screen time. So I'm gonna go on a little small rant now. Literally 99% of society's problem could be broken down into just screen time. It's literally, that's why I'm so passionate about it, because if people wasted zero time on their phone, the likelihood of them working out, going for more walks, playing outside would be much greater, which would improve their health. They would get much better sleep because they wouldn't be scrolling on their phone. They would be more fulfilled because they'd had more time to actually think about their goals, what they want to do with their life, and then they'd actually be able to go for it and achieve it. So they'd have way more fulfillment. They'd be able to focus more because there isn't a phone like beep 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 beep, like the fucking, okay, I can't make the sound like that fucking stupid ass sound. So they'll have more focus, more presence because there isn't like this device. Be way smarter because, not way smarter because people probably would be reading more books. And most importantly, it wouldn't be stealing fucking 40% of people's lives, which is what I think the average person loses about 40% of their life. Because when people calculate this, they're fucking stupid. They calculate, let's just go with 6 hours. I think the average is like 6 hours and 37 minutes. But let's just go with 6 hours. Then people would say, oh yeah, 6 divided by 24, that's 25%. So I'm only wasting 25% of my life. No. I spend about 10 hours in bed every night. I haven't spent that. I only slept for like 9 hours today. But I spend about 10 hours in bed. If you take those 10 hours, you can't sleep and scroll at the same time, right? So it doesn't count. And there's other times of the day where it also like kind of doesn't count. But let's just only go with the sleep aspect. A day is only 14 days. That's how you perceive the day. You don't perceive the day as 24 hours. You perceive the day as 14 hours. So you're awake for 14 hours and you scroll for 6 hours. Let's just cut it up because I can't do the math on that. If you wasted 7 hours a day, that's 50% of your waking hours. If you expect to live to 100 years old, that's 50 years. 50 years doing something you didn't intend to do just because you were addicted to a screen. That's ridiculous. So, yeah. So before I go on to like the next thing with like the contrast between work and fun, if you are an entrepreneur and you've realized that the bottleneck in your business is your screen time, click on the first link in the description. I guarantee results. If you don't get the results that you want, you don't pay. It's that simple. So click on the first link in the description, watch the video sales letter, click on the big red button, fill out the form, see if you qualify. If you do qualify, I'll reach out to you. I'll give you an offer. We'll figure some stuff out and I will reduce your screen time. So the second thing, the big contrast between what you need to get done and what you could be doing. So work versus fun. So this is the big contrast between the work and the fun. So how big of a contrast, if you could imagine it being on like a graph, is there between scrolling short form content and working? If your work is very fulfilling, it will be like smaller, but let's just go with the general, right? There's going to be like this big of a trough between like the work and the scrolling short form content. That gives you a big contrast, right? Let's say you cut away the short form content and you cut away the TV shows and you cut away the movies and you cut away like all social media and YouTube and everything like that. Now this is the trough, not this. This is only the trough left between how fun work is. And by the way, this also like, let's just keep it at that, right? So now it's only at this. How much willpower do you have to use for you to change what you're doing right now? Let's say you're laying on the couch, you're listening to an audiobook, it's a little bit boring, you'd rather just do the work, it's because it's like fulfilling, you're helping people out, you have like a purposeful business, etc., etc. You only use like 5% willpower instead of the 95% that you had to use for this. So imagine you are in a rut and the most stimulating thing you're doing is listening to an audiobook and your work takes 5% willpower. You still have to muster up that 5% willpower. I'm not saying anything about that, but it's only 5%. It's like you could do that realistically. You could muster up that 5% willpower instead of that 95%, which is like, you can't really do that, right? So there's a big difference. So yeah, how do you do this? You use the onion method. How do you leverage the onion method? Click on the first link in the description. Again, if you're an entrepreneur, you see this as your biggest bottleneck, you want to reduce your screen time, you have 2+ hours of daily screen time, yada yada yada. Click on the first link in the description. Watch the VSL, click on the big red button, fill out the Google form, see if you qualify. If you do, I'll reach out to you. I will solve your problem. I will solve your screen time, sorry. If you don't get the results you want, you don't pay. It's that simple. I'm done with pitching now. Click on the first link in the description. There's also a second link with the free community. So click on whatever you want. Just take some action, bro.